The Jacksonville Jaguars played the top of the draft expertly, and they just kind of let the draft come to them. And there is a skill in that sometimes. It's Mitch here of The Bottom Line View. Gronk, spike the like button. Subscribe to The Bottom Line View if you haven't already for more NFL. This is my analysis, my take on the Jacksonville Jaguars 2019 NFL Draft. Like I said, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars expertly played the top of the draft, the first, the second round. The Jaguars did an expert job of getting players that they think are good, but also getting them in positions of value, getting them in spots where they are much better than the value that they got. So overall, the top of the draft I really like for the Jaguars, but I do think that they did miss a couple of spots that they needed to address that they didn't necessarily address. I think the Jaguars getting Jawaan Taylor at tackle when people thought that they might pick him in the first round, in the second round, was amazing, was unbelievable. And I think from day one, he's going to start. Day one, he's going to start at probably right tackle. They have Cam Robinson at left tackle. Jawaan Taylor could play right tackle over Will Richardson. And then overall, if Jawaan Taylor ends up being good, you have a good offensive line because Andrew Norwell's good. Brandon Linder's good. AJ Cann's not bad. And Jawaan Taylor, he was a second-round pick that was a first-round talent. So you get him in the second round, you add him to the right tackle spot. Cam Robinson was a same sort of thing where he was a first-round talent, got him in the second round. So even though Cam Robinson hasn't been great so far in his career, hopefully he can get a little bit better. I think the Jaguars did miss on a couple positions, though. They missed on not getting a slot corner, I think, and they also missed on not getting a safety. Those are the two positions I'm a little bit like, if I was a Jaguars fan, I'd be a little bit sour that they didn't address those spots because Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye, we know what they can do. But behind them, DJ Hayden was definitely a downgrade from what they had in Colvin the season before that. And they don't really have that guy as a slot corner. I don't think DJ Hayden's really the answer, to be quite honest with you. I would have liked to seen them pick somebody, or maybe they could still address that in free agency. I doubt it, but hopefully they can, I would have liked to seen them address that with a third or a fourth round pick, possibly a fifth round pick. Just get a corner in there. Get somebody that can compete for that spot that you like. Safety position, Gerard Wilson is very unproven. I like Ronnie Harrison out of Alabama a season ago, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But they don't have a lot of proven guys at the safety spot. I would love for them to bring in a guy like Trey Boston or potentially bring in a safety in the free agency market. There's still some of them out there, but you could have addressed that spot. I know it wasn't super strong in the draft, but you could have addressed that in the middle rounds at the very least. So I would have liked them to address that spot. So I can't give them a straight A, but I like the Josh Allen pick because they just took the best player on the board. Yannick Ngakoue is a beast. Calais Campbell is a beast, but Campbell's getting up there in age, and Ngakoue is also a guy that's going to look for a contract. So Josh Allen is an edge rusher. Not only is an edge rusher, though, he's a guy that he can play a little bit of linebacker if you need him to. He can cover a little bit if you need him to. He can stand up, play traditional linebacker, and he can also rush off the corner. And then you look at the third down rushing package. If they put Josh Allen out there, they have Miles Jack and Telvin Smith at linebacker. They have Yannick Ngakoue and Josh Allen on the edge. They have Calais Campbell and Marcel Darius inside. That's a dangerous front four. So I really like what the Jaguars did in that first round, just picking the best player available in Josh Allen, who they probably never thought would drop to them. Dontavius Russell is another depth piece for the defensive line at D tackle, which I don't mind that pick. You have a pretty good rotation as it is already, but Dontavius Russell just adds more depth to that. See, I would have preferred possibly picking, instead of a defensive lineman, a safety or a corner. That's just me personally. Quincy Wilson adds depth to the linebacker position, which I understand. You have Miles Jack, Telvin Smith, Josh Allen will play a little bit there. I like Jake Ryan as a backup, and Quincy Williams probably will play special teams if he does make the team, but this is a defense that's absolutely loaded. They're one of the most, if not the most talented defense in the league. Josh Oliver at tight end, I think, was a big need pick because none of their guys, Jeff Swaim, James O'Shaughnessy, none of these guys are going to be starting tight ends in the NFL. Josh Oliver probably is going to be their starting tight end from day one. He's a good receiver. He gives kind of Nick Foles that Zach Ertz sort of option. He's not going to be as good as Zach Ertz, but he is a good receiver. And basically, he's a primary pass catcher, 98 catches, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns in 3 seasons at San Jose State. He can line up in the slot a little bit. He's not a great blocker at all. He's basically a big receiver as a tight end. He 4.63 40, which was the 3rd fastest among tight ends. He's a mismatch nightmare at the tight end position. That's the kind of guy that you want for the Jaguars because they sort of have those guys that can block already. So you want the guy that's a receiver, and I think that was a solid pick. Gardner Minshew, I think, is a sneaky guy. I could see him out-dueling Cody Kessler for the backup job. I actually like Gardner Minshew as a backup quarterback in the NFL. And again, with the running back pick, I don't think they needed a running back. Leonard Fournette is a beast, and yes, he gets injured, but you also have Alfred Blue, you have Thomas Rawls, you have Benny Cunningham. There's always running backs kind of out there that you can get, in free agency. I would have preferred a corner. I would have preferred a safety. That's just me overall. So at the end of the day, I like the Jaguars draft, especially what they did in the first 2 rounds, and you got to give them credit for that. I like picking Josh Oliver, a very big need pick in the 3rd round, and I like some of the depth that they got, but I would have liked to address some other positions. So I'm not going to give them like an A+ or an A like some other people are giving them. I'm going to give them a B+ for their draft. I think it was great getting Josh Allen, Jawan Taylor, and I think those 2 players are going to be huge for them. But besides that, I think there is some questions about this draft class for the Jaguars. Gronk, spike the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView. Thanks for watching, and peace out.